listening to.
You're listening to.
You're listening to.
You're listening to.
Again, and you're listening
to
Active FM.
To Active FM.
To Active FM.
FM.
to Active FM.
What's up? Welcome to Decode right here on YouTube on Active FM. I am Noel TV.
And I am Danny, and today, identity theft.
Yes, we're stealing people's identities.
I have very many people I'd like to steal their identity, and then I wouldn't even do anything. I'd just make their lives a living hell.
That's hectic.
Yeah.
So if anyone's watching and you're close to Danny, just run.
So the identity theft, the clear definition of it is identity theft occurs when someone uses another person's personal identifying information like their name, identifying number, or credit card number without their permission to commit fraud or other crimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of feel like identity theft is like a modern thing, right?
Probably.
Do you think they stole people's identity in like...
In South Africa, you constantly have to go and check that you're not married at the Home Affairs.
What?
Yeah, because like they take your ID and then they marry you.
Go check this. I might be married, guys.
Yeah.
So we actually have an identity theft case from 1524.
What?
A whole... How long ago was that?
That's long.
Long.
Not
like
doing the maths.
very long ago. So, I mean, this came up in my history work for school. Don't ask why I'm doing this in history. I don't know. But I didn't know that there was identity theft so early on in history.
But I guess like humans will always try like do.
I feel
funny
like it's
things.
harder now.
To steal someone's identity. I think it's easier
Well,
now.
to do it more effective. I don't know.
That's how people get
Someone
catfished.
stole my credit card once. I will still find you one day.
And they steal your pictures and stuff and then act like they're you on social media, and now you're dating 15 people.
Oh my
And you
word,
don't
can I
even
tell?
know
This
these
reminds me of
15
this story.
people.
You remember, I messaged you the one day, and that's when your WhatsApp had been hacked or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
Like,
So
I
I'm
wake up
speaking
and I'm
to
getting
this little boy.
messages.
I'm speaking to this little boy, whoever he is, and I'm thinking, why is Nolene speaking to me like this? I was
And
like,
why
what's
is my
going
profile
on?
picture some little boy?
I was like, what's cracking? Turns out I was not speaking to Nolene.
I got
So-
messages in the morning like, Nolene, did you change your profile picture? Nolene, what's wrong with your profile? What is
I
going
had
on?
sent her something
like-
to check, and I thought she was really gonna like it, and it just was like, okay, and I was like, sorry, what? What?
Yeah.
So you can pronounce his name.
Martin Gier.
That one. So Martin was a wealthy French peasant, okay, and basically what happened was he
Wait,
got
you can be a wealthy peasant. Isn't a peasant
yes, you
like...
get different levels of peasants, like
Oh.
you get different levels of nobility.
okay, got it.
So he's like on this side of the peasants.
Yeah.
Closer to the nobles type of thing. So he got married at 14. Could
Hectic.
never be me.
No.
Okay. And then they were married for about a decade. They never had any children. And then he kind of vanished. He abandoned his wife and was like,
At that,
bye.
he's 24
and,
then.
And he stole grain from the father-in-law. So not a great man.
Wait, was grain the thing back then? Like, I'm
Grain
just gonna
was
steal some
huge.
grain.
Grain was huge, especially
Okay.
in times of like famine and things like that. 8 years later, a man claiming to be Martin reappeared and managed to convince the whole family and the friends that he was Martin.
Wait, do you not think like you look different? It's something
Apparently, he was even shorter and like
chubbier.
chubbier.
And they were like, yeah, Martin, definitely.
Like, I mean, let's say he vanished when he was 24 and now he'd be 32, right?
Yeah.
To really change that much.
No.
And you can't really change your height. Well, you can't go shorter.
Well, I guess as you age, you do shrink, but not at 32.
Not at 32. Anyway, he carried on living with the wife, and they had 2 more children. And that's when he was accused.
They had 2 more children.
Yeah.
How do you you won't convince me, bro. If my husband goes missing, you will not convince me that you are this man, because I know who I married. Would someone convince you?
No, that's
Never.
what
You're
people.
a liar.
But you see, that's why people argue that she was probably in on it, because she's probably just lonely and like, I can't keep living as a
Or
woman.
she's the one that made Martin disappear, and then she found a new guy, and she's like, oh, I like you.
But 8 years later,
Yeah. And she's like, just pretend to be Martin.
Because, that's
bro.
what people argue. They're like, in an intimate household between a husband and a wife, surely you would know the difference
Yeah.
between your husband
Like,
and
you're
an
not gonna come and
imposter.
fool me.
Like, what? You're just going to tell me this man showed up and was like, hello, darling, I'm home after 8 years. First of all, I'd slap
Did they
you.
even like fight or anything? Was it just like,
Yeah, I promise you, I probably would have
I'm
just
glad
been
you're
like,
back.
be like, go. Don't come back here. I don't want you. What is this? Anyway, so he was then accused of impersonation and he was taken to court. And the only reason, and he was able to prove a lot of details, like he knew a lot about Martin's life. So people speculate he was probably where Martin had run off. This was one of his friends, and
Yeah.
then maybe Martin died, and this guy saw the opportunity to be like, oh, I can have a family and a life and whatever. Anyway, the thing was, though, the only reason why he actually got found out is because the real Martin showed up to the trial.
Hectic.
Yeah. So he was like, hi, I'm back.
Wait, why was there a trial though?
Because he was charged with identity theft.
Like, how do
Because
you find out
one of
after
the-
having
I
two
do-
kids with him
I
that this
don't-
guy's not the
I
one?
don't know what happened. It was one of the siblings or cousins or someone. They were like, no, this is not Martin. And
After
then
how many years though? Because he's already had 2 kids and all.
Yeah.
How you guys are slow.
No, then they basically were like, no, we need to take this man to court. And they accused him, and then he defended himself. And
then
they were
Martin was
actually
like,
gonna let him off. And then Martin was like,
by the way,
I'm
him."
back. I wonder if they.
How
what
do
happened
you, like-
after that?
Like, I'm.
The book doesn't give any more information after that, so I don't know what happened.
Can
Did-
somebody please
what
turn
happened with
this
the
into
wife?
a movie?
Here's Mr. Martin.
But like, would
What
you
is
not
this?
know
What are you
that
wearing
like this is not my Martin looks weird, just by the way. I'm not marrying him just based on first impression. But like, do you not like, what do you say at the trial? Because now you've already accepted this man as Martin.
No, but like,
So now the
the
next
the
man-
real Martin comes back, right?
Yeah.
Then how does he explain?
Yeah, and
this?
how do you tell that he's the real one? Because you've already accepted a fake. Like, you have no sense of judgment. This is disgusting, this case. I can't believe
Do you
it.
imagine? Guys,
Did
just
this happen
imagine.
in real life? I feel
I just imagine you
this
one
is
day
a
your
joke.
husband leaves and next thing this guy shows up and he's like, oh, I'm your husband.
I mean,
Like, I could understand if he disappeared when he was 14 and came back when he's 30 because you'd
Yeah.
look significantly different.
yeah, and I'd be like, okay,
like,
there's a chance.
Not
there.
24 to 30. I mean, you can't
No.
unless some real things happen
No,
to
guys
you,
have already
like-
grown by then. They finished.
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's nothing that can happen. You're not going to convince me
I
my
just want
husband.
to know how the wife was able to have 2 kids with this man who wasn't even her husband.
Do you understand?
What's going on? So
This lady's very fishy.
it was a very weird and interesting case. I just thought it was interesting because I didn't know identity theft went back so far.
Now, this is a weird one.
Yeah, but that is all for this week.
But for another week.